All right, lean in, because this is not a nostalgia glaze session. This is a character autopsy done right. Today we're talking about Sid, King Julien, Mushu, Donkey, and Olaf. 5 characters that on paper should have been annoying, disposable comic relief, and somehow became the most memorable parts of their franchises. This is why they got it all right. The secret thread that connects all 5. Before we break anyone down individually, here's the glue holding this whole thing together. None of these characters were written to be funny first. They were written to be emotionally useful, story relevant, and most importantly, honest.
Sorry, yeah, I just find clothes restricting.
They joke, yes, but they also hurt, fail, care, and change things. That's the difference between comic relief and character. Keep that in mind, because every single one of them nails this in a different way. Let's start with Sid. Sid is a walking disaster. He's clumsy, he's loud, he's socially rejected by his own species.
If only the guys could see me now!
This is either really good or really bad.
And somehow, he never becomes unbearable. Why? Because Sid is emotionally sincere.
Thank goodness. Oh, no offense, Manny, no offense. You're beautiful on the inside.
He's not trying to be funny. Sid jokes because he's scared of being alone. Every gag, every screw-up, every dumb decision is fueled by one thing. Please don't leave me. That's why his humor lands, because it's coming from vulnerability, not ego. And here's the genius part. Sid actually moves the plot forward. He finds the baby, he keeps the group together, he becomes the heart no one admits they need. Sid isn't comic relief. Sid is emotional glue, and that same principle shows up louder, flashier, and somehow even more chaotic in King Julien. Confidence as a survival mechanism. King Julien should not work, let's be honest. An attention-starved lemur who talks non-stop, dances randomly, and demands worship? That sounds exhausting, yet Julien steals scenes.
Very nice. Thank you for the sacrifice. Please have another sacrifice. No, I've had enough for the day. Listen, I'm going to be very insulted unless you have another. I don't want another sacrifice, okay? Look at you, look skinny. No, I think I've had enough, not clear?
Because Julien's ego is armor. Underneath the dancing and screaming is a character who is terrified of death, aware he's not strong. Desperate to matter, his confidence isn't arrogance, it's panic wearing sunglasses. And here's the key difference. Julien is self-aware. He knows he's ridiculous, which means the movie is laughing with him, not at him. Just like Sid, Julien fills emotional gaps, he boosts morale.
You should do it to me because you are weak and wrong, and you dance badly.
He creates chaos that exposes truth, he says what others are afraid to, and when the moment gets serious, Julien doesn't disappear. He steps up, awkwardly, loudly.
How long is this going to take?
Imperfectly, which brings us to the smallest character with the biggest emotional weight. Mushu, comedy with consequences. Mushu is the blueprint. Straight up, every modern animated side character owes Mushu royalties. He's funny, he's loud, he's sarcastic, but unlike weaker comic characters, Mushu suffers consequences. He messes up, and the story lets him sit in that failure. He lies, he overreaches, he loses his purpose, and the movie doesn't reset him with a joke. Mushu has an arc. He starts as a washed-up guardian, desperate for relevance, and ends as someone who earns his place through growth. That's why his jokes hit harder, because they come from insecurity, not emptiness. Sound familiar? Sid fears abandonment. Julien fears irrelevance. Mushu fears being forgotten, and that exact emotional DNA shows up in the loudest mouth in fairy tale history. Donkey, heart disguised as noise. Donkey talks too much. Everyone knows it. But here's the thing. Donkey never talks without purpose. He fills silence because silence scares him. He jokes because rejection already happened once, and he refuses to let it happen again. Donkey is loyal to an almost painful degree. And the genius writing choice? The movie never mocks him for that. Shrek pushes him away. The world ignores him. And Donkey keeps showing up anyway. That's not comic relief. That's emotional resilience. And just like Mushu, Donkey changes the protagonist. Shrek does not open up without Donkey. Period. Which leads us to the most misunderstood character on this list. Olaf. Innocence done correctly. Olaf gets written off way too easily. People say he's just for kids. He's just jokes. He's annoying. Wrong. Olaf works because he is pure emotional honesty. He doesn't understand danger, but he understands love. That's the balance. Olaf says things other characters are too guarded to admit. I like you. I trust you. I do this for you. And the movie lets that land. When Olaf sacrifices himself, it's not played for laughs. It's played straight. And that's why it hurts. Because innocence becomes courage. And courage becomes heart. What all five did perfectly. All five characters are outsiders, use humor as defense, expose emotional truths, and never break the story's tone. They don't hijack scenes, they enhance them. They don't reset tension, they redirect it. That's why their jokes age well. That's why memes didn't kill them. That's why audiences still quote them years later. Why modern movies keep failing this formula. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Studios saw these characters succeed and copied the noise, not the depth. They replicated loudness, randomness, fast jokes, but skipped vulnerability, growth, emotional stakes. That's why so many modern funny characters feel empty. They're jokes pretending to be people. Sid, Julien, Mushu, Donkey, and Olaf, they're people who happen to be funny. These characters didn't succeed because they were hilarious. They succeeded because they were human. Even when they weren't human at all, they felt real. They mattered. They stayed. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit the like button before Donkey sings again. Subscribe for more character logic and tell me which of these characters carried their movie the hardest. See you in the next one.